Ravens and the Patriots, the only game this wild card weekend that is not a rematch from Week 17, but it is a rematch from Week 4. Jason Horowitz, NFL.com's Pat Kerwin. Glad to be with you. The playoff edition of the NFL preview show here on CBSSports.com. And Pat, obviously the biggest question mark and the biggest topic heading into this game all week long is the loss of Wes Welker and how the Patriots replace him in the offense. Is it just about Julian Edelman, or is there something else that has to be done?
No, they will not just go to Julian Edelman, although I think he's fine. Look, he's been groomed to be the replacement for Wes Welker. The problem is this. You don't double Edelman. You play him single. I talked to Jack Del Rio this week about how he handled Wes Welker, and he said, we doubled him most of the game. Welker caught 13 passes. What does doubling Welker do? It really frees up Moss more. So now what happens? The ripple effect of the injury is going to be they'll shift all their attention to Moss. You'll see Edelman catch a bunch of balls, but you're going to see Moss getting closed out a little bit.
And Randy Moss had a touchdown in the first meeting back in Week 4 in a game that, when the Ravens started the season, we talked about the offense of the Baltimore Ravens, and they had 21 points in this game, and they left a lot more points on the board. Do you think this is a game? We know this is a running team. We know this is Ray Rice and Willis McGahee last week. But is this a game that is maybe more about Joe Flacco?
Well, Joe's in his second series of playoff games. Did a pretty good job last year. I think the Ravens came in as a 6th seed, right? Got to the conference championship game. He comes up with a better perspective. I've talked to Joe about that 2 weeks ago. He's much more relaxed about handling the playoff picture. But again, he's going into New England where they average 33 points a game. That's the pressure that's on him. Can you stay with your running game, or does it shift to Joe? And I have a feeling you're right. It's going to shift to Joe Flacco.
Well, 33 points a game, but that's mostly with Wes Welker. And this Patriots offense it has not been the same. Now, Charlie Casserly reported on the NFL Today this past weekend that Tom Brady's been playing with broken ribs. Bill Belichick disputed that. But either way, his numbers have not been the same towards the end of the season, with the exception of that Jacksonville game at the end. But it's still Tom Brady at home, and he has never lost a home playoff game.
No, he has not, and Tom Brady has weapons. So you asked me earlier about what do we do besides Edelman. There's a guy named Watson over there, and they can get into their 2 tight end sets. But what they're not going to fear from the Baltimore Ravens is pass rush. The Ravens don't generate the kind of pass rush right now that's going to scare Brady. He's going to get hit a few times because he can't go to that weak side Welker-Moss option package that was so good to him. Kevin Falk, who rested last week, will play a huge role in the passing game.
Can they run the football, though? Can the Patriots run to keep the Ravens and Ed Reed, who's now back in this lineup, honest?
Yeah, I think you can run the ball, but you got to run the ball outside. You try to go inside against Lodi Nata, the guys inside. You're going to get stuffed. Ray Lewis is in there. You got to get yourself outside, bounce plays outside. A guy like Maroney sets up nice for that kind of running game. What they call it the dip in pro football terms is you attract the defense to the B gap and you bounce the ball outside. That kind of running game could have a big spot in this game.
All right, we've talked about the X factors in this ballgame. We've talked about Flacco. We've talked about Edelman. You laid it out there. It's Sunday. It's 1 p.m. Eastern. It's on CBS. Let's not forget that the Patriots have never lost a home playoff game with Tom Brady under center. Who wins?
I like the New England Patriots at home, and I know that the loss of Welker is going to close this score down a little bit, but I still like Brady throwing the ball. Ray Lewis is a Hall of Fame linebacker, but he's not the same guy. He struggles in pass drops right now. They will attack inside in the middle. I know they're getting Ed Reed back, but Ed Reed, I don't think he's been on a team that beat Tom Brady.
Nope.
And he's got 1 interception against Tom. He can only play in the middle of the field. The passing game may be outside where Eddie can't get to.
A lot of people are taking the Ravens because it feels like that mystique of the Patriots is gone. But until Tom Brady loses a home playoff game, that mystique at Foxborough, it's still there. Again, 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS on Sunday. And for more on this game, keep it right here with CBSSports.com. For Pat Kerwin, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take it, folks.
Haven't lost a home playoff game since 1970.
Anytime somebody tell you never, 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 that means it's something.
First play of the game, Ray Rice running for the Ravens from Rutgers all the way to the house. 83 yards for Ray Rice and 7-0, just like that.
Nobody touches him. He gets through into the second level. Safeties take a bad angle. See ya. That didn't take long.
By the way, I pulled a groin on that.
He did?
Yeah.
Ice.
Next set of downs for Brady. Taken down by Terrell Suggs. T-Sizzles right around that light.
With the trifecta. The rush, the strip, and the fumble recovery. Only a 3-man rush. He got there.
Unbelievable start to this game as Ray Rice on 3rd and 4 picks up the hard-fought yards.
Great feet, great vision. Reminds you of Emmitt Smith. Look at the football.
Gets the tough yards and takes it to the
That's
house.
high praise.
That's high
Emmitt
praise.
Smith, that's
No,
the highest praise.
triplet.
LaRon McClain takes it in 2 plays later. Ravens up 14-0. Oh, nice.
What is that?
It's a big man dance.
That's what it is, a big man dance challenge from back in the NFL Network day.
Oh, boy.
First play on the
What about
next
Ray
set of
Lewis?
downs, Ray Lewis. First career sack in the playoffs. Ray Lewis. How about that?
And on Tom Brady, the guy that he complained that they protected too much.
Next Patriots possession,
Who was he throwing it to?
Chris Carr intercepts Brady. What's going on in New England?
That crowd is quiet, and they're starting to boo a little bit.
A little bit.
Brady
They were,
throwing that ball.
my God.
Who
Who
was
was
throwing it
Brady
to?
throwing this ball to?
Nobody.
Ravens get the ball on another short field in New England, and 6 plays later, it's Ray Rice in the end zone, 21-0, and it is Skip to his Lou right there. 2 Patriot plays later, Brady getting the ball back. And would you believe he throws another interception? It's picked by Ed Reed, and you know what he's trying to do.
He's trying to do with it.
He's trying to score, and if he can't score, you know he's going to lateral it.
They practice this in a practice all day long. This is a planned play that they do often.
That set up a Ravens field goal, 24-0 Baltimore. You have to wonder, is that the worst quarter of a Bill Belichick coach team ever? Certainly the playoffs.
Probably not in the Cleveland days.
So we go to the second quarter, and here's the Patriots get their first break. The punt hits Tom Zbikowski of the Ravens on the shoulder, so it's a live ball, and it's ruled that Kyle Arrington of the Patriots recovers it, except he never gets possession
He
of it.
doesn't. All right, so you got guys upstairs. Let's just challenge
And
this
John
thing.
Harbaugh
No big
never
deal.
challenges it. At the time, Peter King tweeted that he was incredulous that a challenge never came. It's a perfect word for it.
And you gotta control the ball when you go to the ground, just like a receiver making a catch. So this really would have been
Somebody
overturned.
upstairs has got to say, Coach,
You gotta
challenge it.
You also got to figure that there's no
somebody
way you want to
downstairs
allow
should say
your
it.
opponent to get momentum when they're down 24-0. You have to give it at least a look-see, but they don't. And would you believe it? 6 plays later, there's Julian Edelman, the mini Wes Welker, getting the real Wes Welker to high-five the boss up in the rafters. 24-7 is your score. Brady getting the ball back. That's a first down catch by Kevin Falk, except for the fact that that's pass interference not on Falk, but on Randy Moss elsewhere on the play.
right over him. Bam!
We just see.
He took a
See,
charge.
there you
That's
go.
not a
Take that
penalty on
pass
Larry
interference.
Fitzgerald.
There you go,
That
right
was
there.
obvious.
Oh, yeah.
What a day for Randy Moss.
They don't like Randy, but they didn't call it.
That was the first play of the game in which his name was essentially called. No catches
He's wide open right there.
in the first half. What are they talking
He's like,
about?
what's going on with you, man? Because you should.
All right, I'll throw you the ball. All right, I'll throw it to you.
Well, the third quarter, Belichick might have actually sent the players home for showing up late in this game because it was getting late early. Another pick as Ben Watson is hit by Frank Walker. DeJuan Landry snags the ball right out of the air.
What's going on with Tom Brady?
Tom Brady's throwing the ball late. There's too much air up on it, and he's laying him out to get knocked out.
Led to a Ravens field goal. Ravens up by 20 points midway through the third quarter when Randy Moss catches his first of the game. 3 plays later, it's Brady to Moss again inside the red zone.
They'll let Randy catch those all day.
5-yard
Keeping
hitches.
him in front of them.
4 plays later, it's Brady to Julian Edelman again. And Edelman trying to get the ball to a fan, but
He's not used to scoring.
That's not a good Lambeau lead. He's going to be a good
He's
player,
not
this
used to
kid.
scoring.
3 plays later for the Ravens. It's over the middle to Derek Mason. That's Flacco's first completion to a wide receiver for the entire game. 3 plays after that, we're in the fourth quarter. Flacco, longest pass completion of the game, 17 yards to Joe Flacco. He had only 4 completions on 10 attempts on the day. 3 plays later, 3rd and 7. Flacco scrambling, trying to pick up the first down.
Look at him go with that hip.
Do what you do.
It looks like he does pick up the first down by extending the ball, but look where it's spotted. A yard shy of the first down.
We need to challenge this.
Yeah.
Well, they do that.
They did.
There is a challenge flag. And John Harbaugh says, let's take another look at this. And you'll see from high above, Flacco's never out of bounds until he is well past the first down marker. Certainly with his outstretched arm, they respotted at the 6-yard line. And by inches, it is a first down. And Bill Belichick needs to play some defense in a hurry, with it being 27-14. 3 plays later, Willis McGahee. They couldn't stop this play all day.
Willis McGahee's been running like he's hungry, like he's upset with Ray Rice's productivity, even though they're best of friends.
And he says, get away, let me dance.
Yeah, he
wanted his own. They went for 2 on the same play, by the way. They were held out, but they just kept on running it down the Patriots' throat. It's the first win against the Patriots in franchise history, and the Ravens go into New England and run it down the Patriots' throat. And now they head off to Indianapolis next week in the divisional round on Saturday night. Ray Lewis, and a game in which he came up with his first career playoff sack.
So, my goodness, where were the Patriots?
Wow, you know what? Give hats off to the Baltimore Ravens for way they physically just went in there. A Patriots team that hasn't lost a home playoff game
since 78.
Yeah, since 78. So they go in there and just physically beat them up. The other thing is Joe Flacco, only 10 attempts for 34 yards passing, and to win a playoff game in the NFL, it's amazing.
Well, don't look at the negative. How about 52 attempts rushing for 234 yards? But I will say this.
For them to move on, he better be able to throw the ball around.
But I will say this. This is a Baltimore Ravens team that knows how to win playoff games on the road. They did it last year, went into Pittsburgh to the AFC Championship game. They lost there. Yes, I agree. They're going to have to get more of their passing game as they travel next week to Indianapolis. But I'll tell you what, the Baltimore Ravens and New York Jets both, but I'm going to tell you right now, run the football, don't turn it over, play good defense, and you have a chance.
That's your style, isn't it, Coach?
Love that game.
The Baltimore Ravens did get 20 points off 4 turnovers that New England gave them in the ball game. But I agree with you, Coach. When you run the football, that's the Baltimore Ravens recipe for success. When they run the football with Ray Rice and Willis McGahee, because they're 2 backs with 2 different styles of running the football, and minimize Joe Flacco. I know Joe Flacco has played well this year, but that's not how they're going to win games in the playoffs. They're going to win games when they put Ray Lewis and that defense on the football field and they have a lead. When they can pound the football, the Baltimore Ravens are going to be a tough out for Indy.
And what happened to the New England Patriots? Obviously, Tom Brady's hurt. He's not right. Randy Moss is hurt. Adelius Thomas, bye-bye. You're not going to be with the New England Patriots after that. I'm telling you, that was a pathetic performance from a team that should be prepared much better than they were today. The intensity was so much more than the Ravens had, and the New England Patriots couldn't handle it. You know it.
I agree.
And you know it. I just wanted to make sure there was some agreement down there first before we moved on. After the game, Jim and Phil talked with the man himself, Ray Lewis.
Hey, Ray, you told us last night there have been classic games between the Ravens and Patriots, and you guys had come out of the short end of the stick, but you said you're going to make things different this time. How did you guys do it?
You know what, Jim? We talked yesterday when I got to the hotel, and I told you, my message was we've been through everything. There's nothing we haven't been through as a team. So the bottom line was we came out, we started fast, and I just told the guys, just have fun. Grab these moments. The same thing we talked about last night. Get to Tom Brady. Go to the head of who this team is. And we got to him very early, got a lead, and anytime we get a lead, it's hard to come back on our defense.
Hey, Ray, I got to say something. I just saw you at midfield. I've never seen you run so fast. So I can just tell by your look and your body language, you've enjoyed this victory about as much as any of you had.
Hey, Phil, I tell you what, man, it just don't get no better, because I spoke to my team before the game, and I told my team, there's no other challenge but going out and playing your hearts out for your brother, man. Being able to give up everything, sacrifice everything, just to come out and give everything you got. And at the end of the day, we'll see where we at, man. So God is so amazing, and it's just great to see this team move on.
And now you get to see the Colts one more time. It was one game that kind of typified your season this year. Games you could have won against quality opponents. How do you feel about seeing them again?
You know what? Peyton is always playing great. They're playing at home. It's going to be rowdy. We got the 24-hour rule. We're going to enjoy this on the ride home, and then after that, we're going to get back to work. But I think it's just going to be a great game in Indy next week.
A dominating performance today, Ray Lewis. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you, Jim. Thank you, Phil, man. See you guys.
See you now.
All right, bud.
You know what? I'm just smiling because he's that fired up after the game. What did you say when he tried to get you fired up beforehand?
I'm tired of listening to it, JB. I'm out of breath.
But the New England Patriots lack a leader like that who has the emotion and spirit, and that's the difference on that field today.
Intensity.
Yes.
After Brady early, we hit him a lot throughout the course of the game, and then we decided to cover toward the end. I thought our guys did a great job of covering. You got Dominique Foxworth out there and Moss most of the game. and did a great job on one of the best receivers in the history of the game.
The bottom line, I just think, we kept coming. We kept coming, and a lot of times, a lot of things were, a lot of players just making individual plays. It's always next play, no matter if they made a play or not. Next play. And you gotta just, take your hat off to your team for playing that way.
We got out to a lot of fast starts this year, and today we just didn't. The strip sack with Suggs. I mean, he makes a nice play, and they get an interception, and then another interception, and it's just. You can't turn the ball over like that and expect to win.
Well, first things first, even though there was an 83-yard run right away, Tom, defense. Ravens defense,
yes.
Which at times this year, it's not quite what they... Don't tell that to the Patriots.
Well, we asked a lot of questions about what their approach was going to be in attacking Tom Brady, and I thought you saw it from the very beginning of the football game. They decided to go after him, put the pressure on. I always say it can't be token pressure. You have to be hitting him and putting him on the ground. Ray Lewis is the leader of that pack for the Baltimore Ravens. There you see Suggs knocking the ball out, coming around Matt Light. Here you see the blitz package coming by Ray Lewis. The back can't block him. Again, he puts Brady on the ground. And when you can do this, you make him uncomfortable. And I'll say this, I have never seen Tom Brady, especially in the postseason, as uncomfortable, even in the Giants' loss in the Super Bowl, as uncomfortable as he was in this football game.
Well, and we could talk about what Welker's loss meant because it looked like everything else, Tommy, was, and then, of course...
Well, it forces the turnovers. The turnovers come when you make the quarterback uncomfortable. He's anxious to get the ball out of his hands, and sometimes it goes to spots where he doesn't want it to go.
As good as the Patriots are, as you take Brady to Welker, which was the best thing. Say Randy Moss.
That's right.
Say you thought they could run okay. It's the best thing they do. All of a sudden, on 1 week, they looked a little bit lost.
That's right.
Thanks in due part to the Ravens, who also ran the ball down their throats for, 234?
Well, you knew that the Ravens were going to come out and run the ball, and Joe Flacco threw for 34 yards today passing, and they blew out the New England Patriots at home. So it was all about Ray Rice and McGahee and company. And from the very first play of the game, they set the tone. We're going to block you at the offensive line. We're going to run the ball in between the tackles. We're going to run for the tough yards when we get down around the red zone. The great cuts by the backs. And I think that philosophy of make a cut, get yourself downhill, and get what you can. And Ray Rice has that great low center of gravity, so it's like trying to tackle a fire hydrant. It's not easy to knock one over. So, if they're able to do that, keep the turnovers down, this is another team that could go a long way in the playoffs.
Only Oakland in 1969 in a game against Houston, AFL semifinals, had more points in the first quarter of a playoff. It was 28. Give Ravens another bit of credit. Only 3 penalties for 15 yards. Maturity, at least on this one day, was. I don't want to say that New England won't win the division next year, and Tom Brady and Welker and Moss, et cetera, and the defense won't be back. But I got to say, I think of Requiem for a heavyweight a little bit because this was not we've not seen this. We've not seen this, and you wonder. I was at a game that Pittsburgh played in 1980 at Buffalo with the young Bills, and the Pittsburgh was older, and it just looked different. And again, I'm not putting any. It looked as if there's a lot of work to be done in New England. Is that
well? I think that's fair to say, and we heard a lot, toward the end of the season. Tom Brady and the ribs, Tom Brady and the finger. All I can say is this: he did not look like the Tom Brady that I'm used to looking at when it gets to postseason.
Well, look, he and Coach Belichick had never lost a playoff game in Foxborough, either stadium. That went back to the 90s. As a matter of fact, they've won 11 in a row. The Patriots only lost one until today. One home playoff game. And here it is. Tom, I remember because I was there. 1978. Look at that winter coat for Bum Phillips and the 1978 rookie Earl Campbell. Houston Oilers, Dan Pastorini, 00 Kenny Burrow. Oddly enough, they led 24-0 in that game before winning 31-14. And other things. That this win, that was Mike Barber scoring a touchdown. He scored a couple of them as we go inside the numbers. So there we go. Since 78, they'd won every other playoff game at home in either of the stadiums until this Sunday. Coach Bill Belichick was 6-0 as a Patriot coach, 1-0 as a Brown coach in his first playoff game in every series. And Tom Brady's last home loss, November 12th, 2006. That was until the Ravens came in and won this game.